She was about 20 weeks along. We went in, expecting there's a boy, a girl, how's our baby doing for the ultrasound, and we find out he's a boy, looking good, arms and legs look good, everything looks good, and there's some mass in front of his face, and the doctor's like, yeah, that's a problem. It looked like an encephalocele.
We were told at that time to enjoy the pregnancy and that, well, we think he'll make it to birth, but beyond that, we can't tell you what his condition will be, whether he'll be, we believe, severely disabled or if he will live. When we heard the word encephalocele, we went home and Googled it, and one of the first names that came up was Dr. Mira. And that was when we were under the impression that our son would die. And we saw the story of the boy from Haiti, and we looked at that and said, he's living, look at that. It just gave us so much hope. We sent an image of him in utero to Dr. Mira, and Dr. Mira called me the next day, and at the same time that I was being told that he would not make it, Dr. Mira said, it's going to be okay. I've seen this before. We felt so comfortable with his level of expertise, but not only that, his care, his interest in it, his wanting to help. I mean, he really, that meant the world. And Dr. Mira had answers. He was able to reach out to us and make us feel comforted, for sure, and confident that he had answers that could help us.
When he finally was born and we're in the hospital room and I heard him cry. And he sounded just like every one of our other babies. I mean, I just broke down bawling. It was just too much. It was just so much. It was great. It was joy. It was, he could breathe, everything's functioning right. So it was just overwhelming emotions of joy, really.
Dominic came in with a relatively complex facial cleft where both the bones of the face and skull are split open and the brain is coming down out through that opening. And in his case, really part of it coming out onto the face itself. About 1 month before surgery, Dr. Mira sent out an email with 37 steps that we needed to coordinate before the operation. I mean, we certainly put a lot of thought and planning into the procedure before Dominic even arrived into Massachusetts.
The anesthesia team began and put in all the lines and intubated him and prepared him. The surgical procedure really did not start until about 9:30, and it went extremely well. We were finishing by 3:30, so it went much better than we anticipated.
We really were able to accomplish all the goals of the operation, which was to remove the mass that was on his face, bring the face in together, and relocate the brain into the normal position.
We had a huge ICU team that was involved. Then he was transitioned here to the floor, and we had another team that took care of him. So really for 4 weeks there's been dozens of people who have been involved in his care, and actually that's why I feel comfortable doing a case like that here, because it's not just what happens in the operating room, it's the 2 and 3 and 4 weeks after that are really critical, and that's what makes the difference between someone who goes home perfectly well in 4 weeks and things that don't go quite as well.
We're so grateful we came here because they responded to every single issue that came up right away and had it under control the whole time. So I don't know how many times Mark and I said to each other, thank goodness we came here, thank goodness we came here. We were both so impressed with the expertise from every department, but not only that, just how they came together as a team right away anytime any issue came up, and they consulted with each other, and we were always a part of that team, and that meant the world to us, that we were always included and our input was always considered and taken seriously.
He's really settled out quite nicely. All of his wounds have healed. He's feeding very well, gaining weight. So, considering the size of the procedure he went through, he's really doing quite well. And the ophthalmology team is very happy. He seems to be seeing and tracking objects better than we anticipated, and that was a concern. We didn't know if the two eyes were ever going to be able to track objects appropriately, and it seems that he is. So I think his outcome is really excellent, and we'll be following him every year just to see how he's growing and how his craniofacial skeleton is responding to this initial procedure. But aside from some minor revisions, I think he's going to do just fine.
It's a face that's acceptable to society now, so we can blend in and people kind of will comment, oh, hey cutie, hey little guy, and I love that. That's wonderful for me. That's a new beginning that I'm really excited to experience at home. I'm so excited to have everyone see him and embrace the new Dominic.
We had a great group of families that chipped in to plant a tree in our front yard on his day of birth to remember him by, and I said, I don't know if that'll be 10 years from now a memory of my son who lived and died that day, or if he's gonna be climbing this tree 10 years from now. And right now, I'm expecting him to be climbing that tree, and I have to tell him to get on down, he's going up too high. So we'll see what the future holds, but I'm expecting him to start crawling soon and walking thereafter and throwing a ball someday.